By breaking the regulator, there'd be no control over how much morphine Mary was receiving. There'd be no way to monitor it. If Mary pushed the button too often, then a small safety latch inside the regulator would engage. The latch blocks any further signals into the mechanism dispensing the morphine. It's what prevents an overdose.
Sie haben die Leiche gefunden?
Yes, and Miss Barrett, that's Mary's stepsister. She and I found Mary. Like this.
Wann haben Sie die Leiche entdeckt?
About 7:45, I think. Miss Barrett visits us every Sunday and she usually arrives by 10 o'clock, but today she was early. She rang the bell about 7:30. Miss Barrett and I were together when we came into the room and found Mary just like this. I was just devastated.
Auf keinen Fall hätte Mary das alleine tun können.
No, it's just not physically possible. Mary was burned over 75% of her body, and we're talking about burns which were second and third degree. The scar tissue is so extensive, her mobility had been limited to 2 fingers on her left hand.
Okay, glauben Sie, dass Mary Marst sterben wollte?
It's hard for me to say this, but I do believe Mary wanted to die. It's a miracle she survived the car accident, but the quality of her life from that moment on was extremely poor. It's difficult to imagine just how much physical pain she was in on a daily basis. We did as much as we could to ease that pain, but I know she's in a much better place now.
Konnten Sie mit Mary kommunizieren?
Could she talk at all?
No, the damage to her vocal cords was too severe. And she couldn't move enough to sign either. Miss Barrett once purchased a computer for Mary so she could literally talk through it. But even though you could operate the voice software with the touch of a button, Mary showed no interest in it.
Haben Sie geholfen, Marys Schmerzen zu beenden? Sagen Sie es ruhig.
Are you familiar with the Nightingale Pledge? It's an oath nurses take, like the Hippocratic Oath. Part of it goes, I will abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous and will not take or knowingly administer any harmful drug. So in answer to your question, no, I did not assist Mary in ending her life.
Wohnen Sie hier, Schwester Liu?
I have a small room at the house. Family prefers I refer to it as the chalet. Anyway, when the family hired me, it was with the understanding that Mary required 24-hour care.
Konnte Mary Sie jederzeit zur Hilfe rufen?
I can't remember Mary ever having a call button, actually. I used to just check in on her 4 or 5 times a night. But I stopped doing that a few months ago when the doctor was able to adjust the regulator to administer a dosage which allowed her to sleep peacefully through the night. I should have never have stopped checking in on her. Maybe I could have saved her.
Wohnen nur Sie und Mary hier?
No, Mr. Barrett, I mean John, Mary's brother, well, stepbrother, actually. I'm sorry, it's a little confusing. He lives in the chalet. He told me he moved in right after they decided to check Mary out of the hospital. She hadn't been expected to live very long, and they thought it would be nice for her to live out the rest of her days looking out over the waters of Lake Merritt. He spent a lot of time with her every day, talking to her, reading to her. They were very close. When we couldn't revive Mary, Mr. Barrett got very upset and left the house.
Wo ist John Barrett jetzt?
I don't know. I took care of Mary, but I was not particularly close to the family. I tried to be as inconspicuous in their lives as possible.
Danke für Ihre Geduld.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Dann schauen wir uns mal das...
Have you ever seen one of these before? It's a device used with an IV to monitor a patient's dosage of medication. So it looks as though if Mary were experiencing some pain, she could just push this little button here, and the regulator would release a dose of morphine into her IV.
Tja, ich wollte eigentlich sagen...
See this? There's a serial number right along the broken seam here. So if we put these pieces back together at the lab, we should be able to read it.
Ja, next try. Ich wollte eigentlich sagen... Schauen wir uns das Ding an.
Bottle of morphine. So there has to be a switch inside that regulator unit which prevents a patient from overdosing.
Ja, das wurde jetzt schon zigmal erzählt, aber egal. Bis wo? Fingerabdrücke? Fingerabdrücke.
Now that's an excellent print.
Jo. So. Ne, das brauche ich dann erstmal nicht. Mehr. Dann...
So once we've processed the scene, we'll call Robbins and arrange for the body to be transferred to the coroner's office. We'll get a better look at the body at autopsy.
Okay. Tja, dann... Jetzt erstmal nicht, aber auch da können wir nicht drauf zugreifen. Okay. Was haben wir hier denn Schönes?
Shoe impressions? Left in mud? The mud's still moist. Fresh.
Ja. Machen wir doch erstmal ein Foto.
These muddy footprints have a very distinct tread.
Und wollen dann... Hä? Okay, scheinbar ist der Schlamm selbst nicht wichtig genug, dass wir den...
Look like anyone you know? Maybe not. This bust is of the late Frank Marst, Mary's father. Looks like it's made of solid bronze.
Ich wollte eigentlich sagen, ist der Schlamm scheinbar nicht wichtig für unseren Fall, also dürfen wir ihn auch nicht weiter untersuchen. Man darf ja sowieso immer nur das Nötigste machen.
That's good. We'll be able to compare those marks back at the lab.
Okay, gut. Was haben wir da? Ein Bild. Eine Tür, eine komische Blume. Was haben wir hier? Komische Schwester. Recht leer, ne? Keine Fotos oder sonst was.
Miss Barrett, we're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab. I know you're upset, but we'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Of course, officers. Whatever I can do to help.
Nichts Officers. Crime Lab, bla. Obwohl, werden die als Officer gewertet? Sie haben die Leiche gefunden.
That's correct. Mary's nurse and I discovered the body this morning.
Mensch, da wollte ich heimlich trinken und dann redet die nur so kurz. Wann haben Sie die Leiche entdeckt?
7:30 this morning? Maybe 7:45? I'm not exactly certain.
Lag sie so da, als Sie sie fanden?
Yes. She was lying almost exactly like this, but the nurse and my brother John did try resuscitating her, so the body may have been jostled a bit. I made sure none of us moved anything else, because I understand the importance of not disturbing a crime scene.
Okay, woher wussten Sie, dass eine Straftat verübt wurde?
Her morphine regulator was smashed. Mary couldn't do that. Poor thing could only move 2 fingers on her left hand. God bless her. I pray she's in a better place now.
Glauben Sie, dass Mary Marst sterben wollte?
You'd think anyone living like this would want to die. Not Mary. She was a fighter, and she was a real inspiration to me. When I moved away from here, I thought I'd never come back. But after Mary's accident, I started flying in from LA every Sunday. I swear to you, as God is my witness, Mary wanted to live.
Okay, Sie flogen aus LA hierher. Wohnen Sie dort?
Yes, I live in Los Angeles. I work for a public relations firm. But like I said, I fly out to visit Mary every Sunday.
Sie sind Marys Stiefschwester.
Yes, that's right. I'm sure you've heard of my stepfather, the self-proclaimed hotel tycoon. The bust is almost as imposing and impressive as the man himself. He and my mother died less than a year after it was commissioned. They were skiing in the Swiss Alps. I can tell you, everyone was shocked when the living will entrusted Mary to step in as the acting CEO of Marst Hotel and Entertainment.
Oh, warum überraschte es Sie, dass Mary als Geschäftsführerin einsprang?
Well, needless to say, no one thought a party girl could take over the reins of a multinational travel and leisure conglomerate, including me. But I have to admit, we were all wrong. Tragically, the very same night she announced her retirement and appointed her successor, she crashed her car.
Der Autounfall war der Grund für Ihren Zustand?
Yes, it is. She was so badly burned, the doctors told us she wouldn't live through the night. I will never forget the look on my brother's face when he heard the doctor say that.
Oh, vielleicht war der Bruder verliebt. Was fühlten Sie, als Sie hörten, dass Mary die Nacht nicht übersteht?
It's all impossibly difficult to describe to you. I mean, first our parents, and then Mary? It was almost too much to bear. But the way she fought, she was stronger than anyone could have guessed. She wanted to live.
Also bis auf ein paar klitzekleine Kanten, muss ich sagen, sieht sie richtig toll aus. Und Nick noch besser als im Vorgänger, wenn ich mich nicht irre. Mensch, wer war noch hier, als sie Marys Leichnam fanden? Ja, ich weiß, ich merke, ich fange wieder mit Schwärmen an.
Mary's nurse let me in, and it was just like my normal Sunday visit. I wanted to tell Mary about my promotion. And then, as soon as I saw her, I knew something was wrong. I could tell by the paleness of her skin. I think I screamed. And the nurse screamed, and that's when John ran in and we tried to revive her.
Ihr Bruder John war so früh am Sonntagmorgen hier.
This is the family's chalet. When we all decided to bring Mary back here to spend her final days in peace, my brother John decided to move in too, so he could be with her and help take care of her. He and Mary were very close, much closer than he and I.
Sie und ihr Bruder standen sich nicht nah.
No, we're not particularly close. Well, let's just say we have very different views about money. Very different values about it. Growing up as an only child, Mary had always wanted a little brother, and John was more than happy to be spoiled by her.
Wo ist John jetzt?
I have no idea. He ran out of here and I haven't seen him since.
Danke für Ihre Zeit.
Thank you for your time, Miss Barrett. We'd like it if you could remain here in Las Vegas until we have a better idea of what happened to your stepsister, okay?
All right, officers. Whatever you think is best.
Okay, ich muss korrigieren. Von vorne sieht er doch ein Ticken schlechter aus als früher. Irgendwie haben die das Gesicht diesmal eher ein bisschen vermurkst. So, was haben wir hier oben? Zu unserer Rechten liegt ein Zimmer. Zimmer. Wir können von hier runterschauen, sehen den Raum. Das ist ja aber auch irgendwie doof. Man kommt in dieses Haus rein und hat direkt den Gang zu ihr. Naja. Okay, dann haben wir hier vor uns direkt eine Tür. Dürfen wir nicht rein. Und, na, komm. Da noch eine Tür. Ich sag mal, hier unten gibt es keine weiteren Türen. Wo ist denn hier mal Küche, Bad, Wohnzimmer? Alles oben? Naja. Ich würde mal sagen, gehen wir mal ins Büro zurück. Damit wir uns hier mal die Beweise genauer anschauen können. Weil so werden wir jetzt nichts dran entdecken können sofort, ja. Also, auf und davon!
Hey, you sure you're ready to get out of here? Because I can think of a couple things we haven't taken a look at yet. Why don't we make sure the scene's secure and get a statement from each witness? Then we'll go from there.
Okay. Was soll... Ach so. Ah, super. Ja.
We should compare these footprints to the ones we pulled from the next room. Not bad for a preliminary assessment. What's next?
Ja, dürfen wir jetzt vielleicht und so.
I'll call Robbins, tell him to send somebody down here to pick up the body. And I'll make sure the officers hold the scene for us, just in case we need to come back here.
Ja, dieses eine Foto, Mensch. So, erst einmal vergleichen, direkt. Ah, ja, wir haben ja so viele Computerviren und bla und müssen jedes Mal gecheckt werden. So.
Same tread, same size. So whoever passed by the bronze bust of Frank Marst also approached Mary Marst in her bed.
Tja, und ich denke mal, er hat mit der Bronzestatue dieses Teil kaputtgeschlagen. So, dann wollte ich jetzt erstmal dieses Teil zusammensetzen. Jawohl. So. Ich denke mal, das kommt so dahin. Dann das so dahin. Und das müsste so da.
All right. Now we should be able to read the serial number. I'd collect those bits of metal too. They weren't part of the regulator.
Okay. Wobei da sah es trotzdem so aus, als gäbe es da noch ein Loch. Die Metallstücke. Die Seriennummer. Nee, die können wir nicht. Können wir... Jawohl. Und...